ready? First, let me first thank Jim and the ReliaQuest Bowl staff. This was such an incredible experience for our program, and what a first-class operation, what an incredible week here in Tampa, and we're so grateful to have had the chance to compete today against a really good Iowa team. Credit to Iowa, Coach Ferentz and his staff, his players. They played better football than we did today, and that team we played against is going to make it hard on you if you don't play a clean game. We did not do that. The three phases never really synced up. I thought early on when we got our cleats in the ground on defense, offensively we were taking on sacks and putting ourselves in tough situations to get out of. Obviously the special teams penalty there to end the first half was a gut punch. We had what we needed to overcome it, but that's tough water to take on in the middle eight where we've been really good. And then coming out of half to go 3 and out, have the delay game on the 4th and inches. It kept us out of a potential conversion. And then obviously credit to their punt returner, nice return. And they were able to punch one in our defense. We ended the game one stop away, and that really hurts. But I told the guys, there's no one phase, no one player that takes responsibility for this. We all own it, me included, our staff included, and that's really not the point. That's a it's a painful way to finish, but that's what's great about the arena. You go in, you're not guaranteed. You got to go in, and we didn't do that. But that doesn't take anything away from that group of players and that coaching staff and that support staff, what they poured into this. We're disappointed, but my emotion right now has nothing to do with that. It's the end. And this team has set a new bar for the program, and I'm going to miss those guys. And luckily, we'll bring enough of them back to keep building, and we'll find others to pull in and aim for more. And this group has set such a high bar for us. First 10-win season in program history. That's the best football team in Vanderbilt football history. And I want to make sure those guys are proud of that. Despite how we feel, the pain we feel, it will resolve. We will get past it, and when we're past it, we'll be left with something that we can be really proud of. And for me as the head coach, it's something I get to build upon, which is so exciting. So thank you to all the fans that showed up, specifically Commodore Nation, for being here in support of us. Again, I want to say thank you to Candace Lee, our athletics director, and Chancellor Diermeyer for being here today too, for their support. I want to say thank you to my family for being here also. Thank you, Jackie, Mara, Clark, and Allison. And a big thank you to the team and the staff for all the hard work we put in. And with that, I'm happy to answer questions.
The punt play where you had the penalty, what were you intending to do on that play?
Well, one of their most dangerous players is their punt returner, and so we knew that coming out. And I think there's times where you can overthink that stuff, and we've covered some dangerous guys this season, and we don't try to, we believe in who we are. But one of the ways you can neutralize a return is just by rolling out and extending the amount of time the punter holds the ball. It's no different than hang time. It makes it effective on a rugby punt. That's what the attempt was. And I thought, I loved the play. I think Nick just lost track of where he was in the field. There was a time there where I was yelling, run, 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 and had it been a more manageable, conversion attempt, I think that there would have been room for that. But Nick Haberer has been fantastic this season. We probably used him a little more than we wanted to today, but it's a great lesson for us all. It'll be on our teach tape from here on out, but unfortunate situation. But it was totally within the strategy we were trying to accomplish in neutralizing their punt return. In that moment too, keep in mind, at the end of the half, you just want them on a long field. You do not want to give them a possession to midfield or across the 50. And it felt like we were on track for that. We just lost track of where we were on the field.
Clark, back here, in an era where maybe bowl games are losing their relevance a little bit, both you and Kirk Ferentz both, shut that down yesterday and shut it down today with the hard-fought game. How important is it that both starting quarterbacks played in the game too? You don't see that too often. So for Diego and for both of them to play, how important is that?
Well, I think I could speak for their quarterback too. I mean, these guys are tough competitors, and it's no surprise that they would show up and play. And I think it's reflective of the DNA of the program. I said this when we accepted the invitation here. I mean, we love playing football. I don't, Jim, if there's a way we can put 4 quarters back on the scoreboard and go play some more, because we would do that. If you want to maybe play again tomorrow, we would like to play again tomorrow. But that's the spirit of our program, and obviously Iowa has that in their DNA too, and I got so much respect for them. I think when you play in a game like that, you realize they're just not going to let you make mistakes. They're just not going to let you get off schedule. They're just not going to let you have a penalty on a punt and not make you pay for it. And that's the team we want to be too, and that's the team we've been a lot this year. And the difference in this game is, we made mistakes and we weren't able to play our way out of it, and that's a credit to them and how they play. So, but look, my emotion, I swear to you, if we could do this again, I would do it. And I know that's the spirit of our team too. So that's the significance of bowl opportunities. And as long as they're going to give me a chance to play another game, I'm going to play another game.
Yes, sir.
Clark, now that's it for Diego and this team, I guess two-parter. How should people remember Diego and his career here, and then how should people remember this team?
Well, I think part of remembering this team first is the work we do to ensure that they're remembered as a team that started something that has deep roots and truly lasts. I hope this doesn't just become a blip season, right? It's got to be something that we can pull forward, and my goal would be that in 10 years we draw a line back and say that's where this all began. And I think we can do that. And then to say also that Diego's a huge part of that, I think, he's the best player in the country. He's the best competitor I've ever met in my life. He's the best teammate I've ever met in my life. This guy has redefined what it means to connect with people, and everyone wants to have an opinion about him. And all I know is this: you want him on your team, and so we're going to miss him, but also we're not going to forget him. He's left his mark on our program, and I'm so excited for him, for what's next. I'm so excited for him to be able to shoot his shot in the NFL, and man, I'm never betting against that guy. And I hope the right people have paid attention to his season, because this dude has been doubted his entire life. And everyone's they're going to want to say something about what he can and can't do. This guy is going to make it. He's not only going to make it, he's going to find a way to play at the level he's found a way to play at for us. I believe that with all my heart. So we love Diego, and we're going to miss him, but we won't forget him, and we'll make sure that teams to come are reminded about the things he did as a part of this program.
Yes, sir. Every time Iowa needed a third down, it seemed like Vanami had a big catch. What led to his success today against you guys?
Well, they were able to find some soft spots in zone. The challenge is you're in some zone pressures where you're giving up a seam ball, and he's there's one in my mind that he just was wide open in one of those critical drives at the end that we needed to stop. I think other times, he was able to beat man coverage. He was able to create space for himself, and the quarterback made a good throw away from coverage, and it's a really good player. So credit to him. We did not do enough. Our third down performance was lacking today, and again, some of that is on our end, some of that's on their end, but certainly he was a thorn in our side today.
Coach, could we do one more?
Okay, as many as you want.
Okay.
Coach, did Iowa do anything that surprised you that you weren't expecting?
No, I think they played to their identity. I think that's why they were as effective as they were. I felt like in the first half, we did not play to an identity. You know, I think we were trying to do too much. And so there were times where we were in a go zone and you know, we took a sack because we're trying to get in the right play and we're not seeing it as clean as we need to see it. I felt like they had their stretch run game going. I felt like we settled in against it. You know, when they got in the red zone, they were able to get the ball in the end zone. The first drive was unfortunate, you know, we got the third down and we felt like we had a chance for the sack, and again, credit to their quarterback. I mean, he made a really good play. So it's a really good team, a team that has identity. I think they played to that identity today. They did a better job than we did, and that's why they won.
Did you think about maybe going tempo earlier? I know that's a tough thing with them because they get you 3 and out, they're right back on the field. But walk through the decision of that and when you did it, when you did.
Yeah, we like to get into that as we kind of create success on offense. So, you know, when you're able to get the defense on their heels, you kind of push the pedal down, and that's where we're most effective. We don't line up and just run a tempo offense, you know, from snap one for the reasons you're saying. So, you know, we wanted to establish a run game. We wanted to be able to spread the ball around and do the things that we've done effectively. I think if we would have found some success and gotten in sync offensively early, we would have been able to push the pedal down some. But they got us off schedule. You know, I mean, we were in behind the sticks because of penalties on offense. We were in situations on third down where we gave up sacks. I mean, I think in the first half, the majority of our possessions ended on a third down sack. You know, you're probably one first down away from being able to push the pedal down some and get to some tempo. Second half, we got behind and we had no choice. You know, so we had to get going. But again, a credit to them in the first half for keeping us off schedule.
You lost Chase at one point, I think really early in the game. What was the injury? How did that affect what you wanted to do?
Well, Jordan, we lost Jordan. Yeah, he's got a knee. It's not anything that I think is going to keep him shelved for long, but it was inhibiting his ability to move today, and so he wasn't able to come back out again. I think he's going to be okay. When you lose your center, that's a big deal, you know. I mean, that guy's been really important to us, but I want to credit Cade McConnell for stepping in there, and Sterling Porcher played a bunch of snaps for us today, and you know, those guys stepped up, and that's part of having a good unit, you know. And I'm glad Jordan's going to be okay, and I hate to see that, but he's got a bright football future ahead. He's got a lot of snaps out of it.
Last one.
With Diego, Eli, and others moving on, how good do you feel about Vanderbilt football going forward?
Well, I feel great about it, and not because it's straightforward, you know. I mean, we have work to do. We'll have some big shoes to fill, but that's part of the excitement of this, you know. We're gonna figure it out as we go. We'll have to change identity in some ways. We'll have to, you know, tweak some systems, but and we'll have to win games differently next year than we did this year. But again, that's the fun of it. And what I do believe in is I got a locker room of guys that are connected, that love one another, that love playing football, and that will be returning to take this further. And that's a great starting point. We'll have work to do over the next couple of weeks to see where we net out in the portal and what we need to make sure we keep it going. We're going to introduce, I think, 20 freshmen in January, which will be great to get those guys' careers off and running, and the work of a coach begins. But I feel great about it. I'm excited about the future and excited to be at Vanderbilt long term, and can't wait for the next steps. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Players will be available across the